Today marks the end of the 30-day deadline the Biden administration set for Israel to improve the dire situation in Gaza. President Biden is expected to host Israeli President Isaac Herzog at the White House to push for peace in the Middle East. White House correspondent Karen Travers joins me now, along with foreign correspondent Britt Clennett from Tel Aviv, Israel, for more. Karen, President Herzog doesn't really have much power over the war in Gaza. So what is Biden hoping to get out of this meeting with him today?
You know, it's really a symbolic meeting to sit down with the president of Israel because, as you note, he doesn't hold the power there. More of a figurehead position when the power rests with the prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. And, of course, the relationship between President Biden and the Biden administration and Netanyahu is strained recently. And there hasn't been significant contacts between them in the last couple of weeks. So today on the agenda for the presidents to sit down in the Oval Office, they're going to be talking about the efforts to reach a ceasefire in both Gaza and in Lebanon, the efforts to try to get more humanitarian assistance into Gaza, and also regional stability, the concerns about Iran and other things popping up in that area. But, you know, Diane, for the White House, this is all about, I think, trying to show that they're still very actively engaged on this issue, even as the Trump transition team moves full steam ahead, putting their national security teams into place. And the ceasefire conversations have stalled right now, and it doesn't look like things are moving along, at least the U.S. engagement in this right now, not going forward.
Karen, the U.S. previously said that Israel would face consequences if the U.S. didn't see an improvement in Gaza. So what now?
You know, there was that 30-day deadline that was given by the Biden administration last month for Israel to increase the humanitarian assistance into Gaza or face potential consequences. And that could include the triggering of American laws where then there would be restrictions on U.S. military aid to Israel. That deadline, that 30 days, is now today. And there are a lot of questions then about what this means. No indication yet from the White House about what they're going to do. We've reached out to the National Security Council to see what this means, but I think it is a big question then about what the leverage the United States has over Israel. Again, because of that transition that is happening with the Trump team coming in, Donald Trump has a very strong relationship with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So you could get a sense that perhaps on the Israeli side, they could just wait things out until January 20th.
And Britt, several aid agencies have signed this joint statement saying Israel has not met that U.S. criteria to improve the humanitarian crisis in Gaza within this deadline. I know you spoke to the spokesperson for the IDF's unit of the coordination of government activities in the territory. So what did he tell you?
Well, this spokesperson, he refuted a report by 8 aid organizations which listed 19 measures of compliance with those U.S. demands. It said that Israel had failed to comply with 15 and only partially complied with 4. But he did admit by his own numbers that actually they were falling short of the demand of 350 trucks per day. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
So I think that the report itself is filled with many lies and a lot of inaccuracies, and a lot of what they're describing there just isn't true. And it's also important to note that those 8 organizations are just a handful of the organizations that are actually operating on the ground in Gaza. These organizations that we work with every day, and we work together with them to facilitate humanitarian aid and to continue increasing the amount of aid that reaches the people in Gaza, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that civilians in Gaza are getting the humanitarian aid that they need.
Now, he did point the blame at aid agencies, saying it's a distribution problem, but we know from speaking to aid agencies, they say that it's simply too dangerous and it's very hard for them to get that desperately needed aid to the people that need them.
Britt, meanwhile, new videos circulating online of strikes in Beirut. What's the latest on the conflict there?
Yeah, no let up to the fighting in Lebanon. We do know today that there were 10 attacks announced by Hezbollah into Israel. But as you say, fighting strikes across Lebanon. Several people have been killed in an air attack in the north. That's as the bombing continues in that country, as Israel tries to target Hezbollah. Also more evacuations, 14 more villages in southern Lebanon, people being told to flee. They say that, you know, it's creating chaos, uncertainty, disarray and stress, that they just don't know where it is safe to go anymore, Diane.
All right, Karen Travers, Britt Clennett, thank you.